Welcome back, Legionnaires. I'm Double X, and today we're gonna be doing a tier list because I have nothing else to do. Because it's currently 7 in the morning, by the way. I have nothing better else to do, and I thought might as well do this before what's it called? Before creation comes out, because I'm assuming it's gonna be coming in February. Or next week, I don't know. Somebody in one of my videos commented saying that it's either gonna be next week or in the next 3 weeks maximum. So that's kind of helpful, as in I don't know what to do for the content. So probably for the next few videos, you might see some bad business videos. Again, let me know what you guys like. Please, I beg you. I kind of want to create content that you guys want to see. I just don't want to throw random stuff at the wall and see what sticks. So please leave a like, and also let me know what you guys would like to see in the future. Recommend me games. It's not like I don't know what good Roblox games. I just want to kind of gauge what you guys want to see. So don't be shy to comment down below. Let me know what type of games you want me to see, review or kind of see. Also, you ever see me in game? Don't be afraid to, because if I'm in game, more likely than not, I'm recording. So don't feel shy to say hi if you ever see me. Anyway, let's get on with this tier list. So I just found this random one by, does it not say who it's made by? I guess this person right here. I only made, and whoever this is, thanks. But we have all the elements here, including the stands element. Yes, I'm going to be writing this element. But let's start with, we're going to be using the elemental Battlegrounds wiki to help us start. We're going to look at the star elements: fire, water, and grass. Let's start with fire. Now again, this is going to be kind of from my opinion, because give me a second. What do you mean this is already up? I was about to say, if there was an actual leak, that would be hilarious. But we're gonna start about fire. But the star elements, fire, in my opinion, is a really good mid tier. Mainly because of this combo right here, the high damage with the low defense. Okay, this is good joke. Low damage. That's eh. This is also really good for mobility, which is really nice. I really like Great Fire Blast for mobility reasons. It also can be used for some combos. Pretty nice. I'm trying my best not to yawn, but yeah, it's 7 in the morning. I'm pretty sure I woke up an hour ago, so. This was also good for stunning. I like that a lot. Flame Body is the one that's broken, in my opinion. Okay. Okay, the speed boost whenever they deal, along with the damaging and empty. 40% increased damage. That is nutty. And that's for 30 seconds. That is insane. And again, it doesn't say how much you have to hit, but with something like with a consecutive fire bullets. Yeah, fire bullets. That can make it very easy. And then you have Hell's Core, which is one of my favorite things. It does so much good damage. Yeah, So, again, just looking at this, just because in my opinion, let's see, where's fire? Fire. I'm gonna put fire in B tier. It's a great starter ability. That body spell is broken beyond belief sometimes, but I don't believe it's that overpowered. It's a very good starter. I think like if you get killed by a fire move, it's mostly going to either get great fire blast or consecutive fire bullets, and you can't really be mad because those things do, you have to do a lot of damage, but at the exact same time it's like, it's fire. Let's look at water. Also, I love the wiki for doing this. They put everything in this nice little thing right here. So easy to choose what you want. Water. Yeah, this one. Okay, this one's really good for stunning. I have to admit that. Why would you ever use this? It's literally completely useless. Water Tornado is really good at pulling up people, but it's basically low. It's low. It's basically what's it called? It's discount sewer burst. Before toxic was a thing, this was like the go-to thing to pull people up in the air. Your transportation. Multi projectile AoE transportation. That transportation. I mean, it's a good transportation, not gonna lie. But at the exact same time, you could still get easily knocked out of it. It's like insane. Like, who would? I mean, I see people use it, but it's like, once you unlock better transportation options like Vine. Water Dragon, in my opinion, is just not a good ult. I mean, it can be, but you have to hit like your opponent dead on, or else it completely sucks. Yeah. So water, it just doesn't have a lot of good moves that do good damage. Not much to do. It's one of your star elements, so this is what you have for a little bit. So where's water? I put it in a C. It's just not that good, honestly. For like, I mean, you can definitely work with it, but it's very long ranged. You have to be you basically have to use everything you have at your disposal. The only two real damaging moves you have, and then your ultimate is water beam and the bullets. And water beam's your main one, and you spam your little water bullets until they die. So yeah, I'm putting it in a C. It's, in my opinion, not that good. We have grass. Now this one's interesting. Poison needles. Or spore bombs, actually. Spore bombs, I think, are actually pretty good. It's just that is pitiful amount of healing. It's just a pitiful amount. Like, in most fights, that is not going to last you. That's like 30, that's like 90 health. I mean, damage-wise, it's okay, but it's like 90 health on a 5-second cooldown? Not really. This is the main one. Poison needles is the main one. No, I didn't know that you used to spend them. But these things are so good for stun locks. It's annoyingly good. Yeah, this is really good. The Vine is also amazingly good for stun locks. I am still mad it's so good for stun locks. It also gives you a lot better heal like the Spore Bombs. Granted, those longer cooldown, but like in most fights, 100 health is gonna be a lot more useful than 90. Mention too, it also stuns lock the opponent, which allows you to do other stuff. Leaf Storm is also amazing for stun locks and also just good damage and good use. You can basically combine this with your poison needles for your good aim, and it looks like you can like stun people in the air, which I think it happened to me once, but it never really happened again. Yeah, for tripping them for 3 seconds, that's really good. This is probably the worst ultimate in the game, though. I have to admit, this is probably the worst ultimate in the game. It says that it's really hard. It's not hard to aim, but it's just completely stupid. Not only is it very stationary, not only does it do, it basically does, I mean, it doesn't do like no damage. It can do this much in total. But also, this is the you can dissipate harm with others. If you have incinerating burst, just use that and it'll just kill the ultimate. And you're just kind of stuck there in the air, it looks like. So, other than that, most of the things here are amazing. So, in my opinion, grass goes up into an A tier. Next up, we're going to be looking at the next tier, the basic elements. First up with wind. Wind, in my opinion, wind cannon, one of my favorite spells but I just don't use it because it's a shotgun effect. Because once you unlock chaos, you just get a better version of this. Order break is just a better version of wind cannon, so yeah, so that's spread. This is really good for like capturing if you're in the middle of like if a lot of people are in the middle of fighting. You can basically use this to capture a lot of them in later. So I have to go somewhere. I just have to kind of focus, remember myself. Wind Ascent. Oh, let me tell you about Wind Ascent. This thing is really good for stunning and also allows you to get in the high in the air so you can strike down with multiple things. This thing is a really good spell. This boosts us up a lot. Spiral Spin, it's a good traveling move. But it's just... Also, this is also good for stunning in some situations, but it's like... Vine does a better version of that. And the ultimate's pretty decent. The only problem is that it has a tendency... The only problem is that the tendency of the Wind Gust is that it tends to pull everybody together in one area. I mean, if anybody within that thing has like some type of like I don't know gravity dome, they can pull out of nowhere before everybody gets unstunned. They can get massive multi kills. That's not the user. So, if you know where they're gonna land, and you have like a spell ready to blow them up, you can easily do it. So, where's wind? There it is. I put wind. Let's see, with water. Again, you only have... Wind Cannon is probably your main damaging move. Very similar to water in the sense that the ultimate is kind of useless. It's not exactly useless, but it kind of sucks. I mean, it's an AoE, so I guess that would technically put it a little bit higher than water, I guess. But other than that, it's just like, I don't know. To the next element, we go. I hope you guys enjoy this type of video. Storm, which I think is a combination. So the wiki says above average and extremely fast. They're not lying on that extremely fast. Although I would put it just fast because yeah. So lightning bolt. This is also pretty good. The tripping's really good. Basically, it's a projectile. It's a hard to dodge, but like there's so many bullets in the game, allow you to dodge it because you can see it coming. This is also pretty useful if you want to dodge out of a move or get on top of a fireball or whatever you want. This is also a really good stunning move, but also kind of bad at the exact same time because it's good for stunning. But unfortunately, you're just kind of stuck there, and there's also a lot of end lag, so... Yeah. Lightning Barrage, this one's also pretty good for stunning. Doesn't look like it does. Oh, it's like... Cannot stun. Yeah, never mind, I stand corrected. I thought this thing would stun me constantly. And you have this ultimate, which is probably one of the cooler looking ultimates in the game, but yeah. Pretty cool. Where would I put this? I'll put it in a B tier underneath fire. I think it's kind of like fire in the sense that it's kind of versatile. Let's put it that way. It's kind of versatile, allows you to kind of do a lot. Although it's thing is that it's relying on quick speed. Be able to strike your opponents quickly and stuff like that. But again, sorry, I'm not prepared for this. But it's one of the situations where it's extremely quick. It can be useful, and again, lightning bolts is a good move. Next up on our list, Earth. So yeah, I kind of know where this one's already going, but Accumulated Spikes, I don't see anybody use this. Maybe because it takes so long to charge, and even then, it's like, okay, cool, but like, huh? I mean, apparently it blocks their projectiles, so which is okay. Rock Fist. I mean, the stun is nice, I guess. And the AoE is kind of good. This spell is also kind of good, but also it's just again, I don't see anybody use it, so. And the blocking, I guess, is pretty nice, but this one basically just turns you into a slower version of yourself. Reduces all damage taken by 40%, but also heavily lowers your speed. And the fact that it has a 60-second cooldown with a 30-second effect last, it's like, boy, that is not good for only 40% reduction. I mean, if you're going against a fully charged fire user, theoretically you could. Ignore that. That scared the little crap out of me. But that would be. I mean, I guess at that point you can negate a fire user. But in what term would you ever have this just to counter a fully charged fire user? Like, you would never do it. This is also a pretty cool ultimate. But I'm sorry, the problem with this ultimate is just that you kind of, well, not only are you stuck there, obviously, but it's like, look how slow those meteors are going compared to like where he's dropped, where the person's like saying where to go. It's just not meant to do like a place like no ceiling is not good. So, in my opinion, where would I put it? Let me find it first. Here it is. I think this is our first D tier. I just don't think it's that good, honestly. Could use Actuated Spikes effectively, yeah, but the rest of the ability is just kind of garbage. I'm sorry to say that. Like, okay, let's keep going. And sound. Sound was really originally an event, but now it's a full one. It's redoing the event. Yeah, it was formerly, but now it's basic. I've already played enough with sound to know. This can be good. This is completely garbage. This is a really funny one. Yeah, this is really fun to play around with. And can be very useful, especially if you abuse the lightning one. The lightning one is really fun to abuse. The fire and lightning are really good. The powers are Shockwave Halo is not that good. Unfortunately, all it does is it's called body transformation. That's what the spell type. Unfortunately, this is really bad because all it does is drain your stamina. And I guess the transportation spell. But unfortunately, that is like nothing. Most combos don't use transportation spells in combos. So unless you're using Vine for a stun lock, and you're like, oh, I can't use stun lock anymore. I guess I don't have poison needles or anything else. It's kind of useless. This one to me is one of the weirdest ultimates in the game. I mean, it can be good, I guess, but it's like, yeah, this can be fun, but unfortunately, many people are just gonna fire spells at you. Yeah, this is okay. Where do I put it? I put it in C tier because you can kind of use it. And I should mention too, the plate markings of like where they are compared to other elements don't mean anything. They're just like in a tier. I put it in C tier because I think it doesn't have many damaging moves, and that's kind of the problem. But again, it's not like terrible. Okay, now we're starting to get onto the common fusion, starting with lava. So you combine this with plus fire plus earth. This is basically better fireball. Don't at me. It's just a little bit less projectiles, but trust me, it's just better. This is really fun. It trips the enemies, goes through solid objects, blocks certain projectiles. What do you want me to do with that? It just so much. It could do up to 300 damage. That is kind of good. Hammer drop also, I think, is our first contact or grab, as I like to call it. Was ice here yet? Ice is later, I think. But this is really good because I'm pretty sure this is pretty good. Fun to use in tandem with others, but this is also really good for stunning. And this, not a great ultimate though. I mean, it can be useful too. It's just I don't know if the lava pools last. Yeah, it doesn't last that long, so if it lasts that long, it'd be probably better. So, in my opinion, lava. Where are you? There you are. I'm putting this into an A tier because I believe that it can be just as good as grass used correctly. I mean, it doesn't have the stunning ability, which is kind of in a way, but at the exact same time, It doesn't have the stunning on its projectiles, but it has a lot more options to screw you over with if you don't know. Somebody who's using a lot of good knows what they're doing can professionally screw you up. Let's go into ice. As I was talking about ice, in my opinion, Flurry Have, this is a really good grab. I'll give it that. But well, he can be good. It's just that it has a weird stuck animation. Where like if you're in mid-air and you're like jumping in one direction and you hit and you release the spell, it kind of teleports you back a little bit, which I mean could be useful if somebody's tracking you, but also just gets you stuck in mid-air. I've barely ever seen anybody use this. I mean, it has versatility. I give it that. And we have the ultimate, which also could be kind of useful. I'll put ice in a. I'll put it. I have to put a D tier. I just don't think it's a really good ability. It has potential to be good because of the freezing effect, but at the exact same time, that's like only 2 abilities. I mean, the projectile's okay, but it definitely has a lot of holding it back. Because I don't get killed by ice users, and the ice contact is good and all, but I don't know, it just has a lot of things holding its back. If like the projectiles could freeze if all of them hit, that would probably bump it up into C tier. Let's keep going. Nature. Sorry, my internet's a little slow. Nature's Essence, I think is a terrible ability. Honestly, it just enforces safe zoners. Like it, all it does is that enforces that idea of you get high up, you could just spam this from the top of a tower, and stay in the safe zone because of its splitting nature. It's like, not much to do. The explosion radiuses of the smaller ones and the medium ones do not cover everything. So like if you hit it perfectly, you have to be kind of medium range for it. Yeah, 576. Vine Trap can be good for stunning, I'll give it that. Although, this is still stupid. Nature's Bless is probably our first healing, and it's probably one of the best healing in the game. One of the best, at least. Because it allows you to be mobile, that's my point. Spec Shield also amazing for stunning. And you get reduced damage. And the ultimate kind of sucks, because again, you can kind of get hit by it, but okay. It's basically Nature's Essence, but better. So, Nature. I'll put you up in a... I'll put you in C tier. Again, similar thing. You only have a few moves actually damage, but that stun is really good. Next up, we have Plasma. Plasma missiles, basically fireballs but homing. Plasma Ray. This is just good for setting fires and doing pretty good stuff. Plasma Implosion is really good for stunning and getting that burn. Plasma Orb, not a great transportation. This is not that good, honestly. Like, you would never catch some. If you catch something on guard with it, maybe, but it's like, I don't think people are gonna use this as a combo starter. So I'll put you up in B tier though, because I think it's really good. Really good. And the 2 things that are required to create plasma make it good. Yeah, I think it's a pretty good ability. Next, we have Crystal. This, I think, sucks. It's basically the same concept as Nature's Essence, why it sucks. This, again, this can be used for stunning, but it's just, you know. I mean, it's good for tripping, I guess, but at the exact same time, I mean, this can be good, but also kind of not, really. It blocks, but it doesn't block for that long. This is probably the best healing in the game, to be perfectly honest. Like, honestly, this is probably the best healing, but the exact same kind of to stay under that crystal, and if you're not under that crystal, you're kind of screwed. And this ultimate kind of sucks. I mean, all it does is trap people. Yeah. I mean, it's not that good. But otherwise, it's a pretty... I'll put it in C tier. Where's Crystal? I'll put it in C tier. Actually, I'll put it in G tier. It has good healing. I'm not gonna lie, it has good healing, but at least nature had like a stun move and some other things they had going for it. It had a stun move, Vine Trap, which was a Vine Trap. Even though everything could be used well, but this one is just, I don't know. Its moves just don't seem that good. I mean, it can stun, but it's not that. It's just not that good, honestly. Yeah, my personal experience. So we still have a lot of abilities to go through. Don't we? We still have to. Okay, I will just rank Sans now. I'm actually putting him in a C. A lot of his abilities, a lot of Sans the Sand abilities are just, they're good. They're inspired. I'll give it that. It's inspired, but it's just they're inspired, but it's just not. If it was, it could be better if the Big Bad Bone move exploded on contact with objects instead of just glitching out, or more precisely, just flopping around. Better that way. And also if the AoE was a little bit better. I'll put it right there now so we don't have to worry about it. And Spirit, one of my personal favorites for a good reason. Okay, I think it's actually pretty decent. This also is getting pretty decent. It's pretty decent. This is also pretty decent. You know, capturing people and throwing them away. This is really good. Going invisible is so good. Yeah, this is pretty decent, actually. So, I think we have another... I'll put it in B tier. It's not, like, up here, but it's pretty good. Next up, we're starting to get into the rare elements, starting with Gravity. Yeah, this is good. This is as good for starting stun locks. Gravity Globe, it's fun to use, but here's the main problem I have with Gravity Globe. It only reflects certain. You know what that means? Ace Up the Slave from the illusion element can go through it. Well, normally it shouldn't be able to, but I've had multiple instances where it was able to get through it. But also that means Plasma Implosion, Space-Time Rupture, and a bunch of other abilities can just get through it. Refraction, mainly. Refraction, just go boom. So there's so many abilities that can go through it that aren't projectiles, quote-unquote, that it can be completely useless. Gravitational fields are really for chasing down people who use invisibility. I know I get chased down the thing all constantly. And also can do some pretty good damage. You can start Solnox. Inertia's really good. Like, now that I'm thinking about it, it's actually a really good body spell. Because you can't get stunned, which means that basically it turns everybody's combos completely useless. Actually, you also get lower gravity, so you can jump over a lot of things. I mean, I didn't really care for it that much, but now looking at it now, I might actually care about this a lot more than I thought I did. All due to the fact of this is gonna be some really good damage. Well, not good damage, but good anti-stun and gravity pull. Again, this has the same problem that Wind Gust has, where it puts everybody in a similar spot when you drop. But if people are there waiting and they know where, you can again get some pretty nasty multi kills. But unlike Gust, you can kind of act out of it and get some pretty nasty multi kills with like something like Great Fire Blast. This you can't really get because you're also falling and you're also from height, so it gets a little bit detected. But in my opinion, gravity is that's not gravity. Here's gravity. I'm putting it up in an A tier. It's just good. Again, light. My CPU hates me right now. Is that my CPU? No. You guys see how people are like creation? Like, I'll just do this real quick just to check. I did not want to do that. Yeah, see, there's still nothing on it, so. This is good for stun locking and doing some pretty good damage. This is basically pointless, unless you're high in the air. This is really good for stunning and blinding, which is... This is a good healing, but it just takes so long to fully charge. And only for 250 health. I don't know if that's worth it. And it's probably one of the more fun ultimates to use against people. To blind them. It's basically just Hell's Core on a projectile. Honestly, this is light, right? Yeah, light. I gave it a B tier. Sorry if I'm rushing a little bit. I just kind of want to get this over with. Darkness. Summer Breast is just good. Market Missiles is also good. Again, if you hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on your keyboard, you can basically combo this with other abilities to basically do tons of damage. This I've never seen anybody use. Boy, Terror again, I don't see anybody use. And Gloomy Rise is a fun ultimate. From what I understand, where's Darkness? I put Darkness honestly in a C because, again, really the only two damaging really good moves are Somber Breast and Murky Missiles. Other than that, you're not going to be really using anything else if you're running if you're using any Darkness moves. So realistically, that's where I put it. We're in close. Time. The projectiles are good. Temporal Trap is annoying as all hell. I mean, seriously, this thing is super annoying and does high damage. Yeah, 250 is stupid good. Chronostasis, it's a fun ability, but it's kind of useless. Because what people can just do is because everybody can see the little imprintment, which means if somebody sees it like right next to a spawn, they can just set up a trap and wait for you to respawn and then kill you. Genesis Ray is really fun if it hits. It's really fun. It basically creates an area where if you walk out, you take damage, and basically you can just throw a refraction in there. I'm gonna make a lot of references to illusion until we start talking about illusion. And we have the JoJo reference, Zawaldo. I don't know how that sounds on the mic. In my head, it sounded good. Probably it might sound cringy. So yeah. When we talk to space, you're gonna see another. I'm gonna make another JoJo reference. Just wait. But anyway, Zawaldo. Basically, it's Zawaldo. I don't need to say much more. Honestly, it's a pretty good ability. I'll put it in an A tier. Honestly, A tier time. Because again, anything that makes a JoJo reference is good, right? Arsenal. You're good, and you make JoJo references. Anyway, let's get on to the next one. Our first S tier. Because of that. Ash Pulse, stupidly good, amazing ability. Blue Arson, great healing, also great area denial. And that sporadic flames can be really annoying. Slow Plunge, it can be good in certain situations, but it's like, it can be good in certain situations. Holly Dash, this thing's annoying because it can just burst through people and do tons of damage with that fire. And the Immolate is very annoying because it can't easily hit you. So, it's a very annoying ability, very cheap considering what it is. 750. No questions about it. Where are you, Phoenix? I wanted to put you up here. S tier. Not even a question about it. It's super easy to use as a noob. You can get easy kills with it if you know. And if they're using Ash Pulse, well, yeah. Anyway, time to the superior. I am going to die. Let's just click on superior elements so that way we don't have to be here. Void. Shadow Sneak's okay. Void Bomb, again, it's good for blinding, but other than that, not much. Oblivion's really good. I'm not gonna lie. Void Lightning, and it's the ultimate Void Opening. And making good be good, but not that impressive. Honestly, I'll put Void in a B tier. I mean, it can be useful for sure, and you can use it for sure, but again, it's just that Void, the Oblivion move, you just use that to screw everybody's day up. Next up, we have Spectrum. This is a very fun move. Hollow Beam's very fun, but not very practical sometimes. Well, trust me, you can use it pretty good. Rainbow Shockwave is a very fun move. Rainbow Shockwave is very fun. Rainbow Mix Fire. This is going to be really good. It has so many effects. It can basically screw people up with a 7-second cooldown. That's pretty good. Game and Search, I don't really see people doing it. But it can be really good. And the Ultimate Cosmic Shrine, which it can be very good. But that, okay, here's the main from blocks on protect. We can protect the user. That's really good. And that sounds good too. Screw off. So I'll put it at a B tier. Sorry if this is not really good tier list video. I've never done this, so. Oh, space. The other part where I'm gonna say no to make it. Yeah. Yep. Okay, this. Nothing can dodge the Emerald Splash. Sorry, I had to do it. And also, it's pretty good, but it's. Black Hole Orb is really good for stunning people. Cosmic Crash is great for blinding and starting up combos, so that's fun. Kakuin! I love this. But in all seriousness, I cannot promise that's the last JoJo joke I want to make. If JoJokes, that's what it should be called. Instead of JoJo means it's called JoJoke. I've been watching way too many too much crafting video lately. Anyway, yeah, Neutral Buzz is really good. Very one of funny grabs to finish off people with. Because again, I can make that joke. And Supernova is good and all. But unfortunately, people are just gonna spam things hoping to kill you first, so. Again, anything that makes a JoJo reference, A tier. Well, it's also just a really high damage ability. It's really fun to use. Reaper. I mean, it's fast. This sucks. This is good. This is good. This kind of good. And this can be a really fun ultimate. So Reaper, I'll put into C tier. I mean, like all these, it really only has a few damaging moves, but it can be, the transportation and a few others can be used in combos. Aurora. High damage. This is good. This is good for combos. This could also be good for combos, but you have to really, you have to be using like something like Reaper Sword combined with it. But you can't because they're both AoE, so. And Imperial Rain, I guess if you combine hit both of those together, you can do some pretty good damage, but. And this is a very annoying ultimate, but it doesn't do that much damage. So I'm gonna go too in depth again. It's 7 in the morning, this one gets over with. I'll put it in a C tier. Yeah. We're getting pretty close to being done here. We get to Explosion. Okay. Concentrated Blast is good, but the exact thing, it's kind of slow. The second phase Explosion, again, can be good. Explosive, I just don't like it. Like, there's a very little situation where this is actually quite useful. The only one I think of is if somebody's using Water Tornado or Sewer Burst and they're like camping underneath it, you can basically use it and the explosion will go directly to the bottom, like on the ground, so you can kind of like hit them that way, but it's not that useful. Combustion can be good. And if you absorb enough projectiles, you can create a massive explosion. So I guess, yeah, but again, this is kind of hard to do sometimes, especially when getting stunned. This is, yeah. I have to give it a C tier. I have to give it D tier, I'm sorry. Unfortunately, it's not that useful. I mean, consecutive explosions, I guess, but at the exact time, offense abilities are kind of close range and not that good. Unfortunately. I hope I don't get torn. I hope I don't get torn into pieces by this. Again, you have your own opinion. Chaos. Yes. Sorry, everybody. My headphones randomly turned off. I guess because I'm not playing any music or any sound. It's just like, oh, I guess you're not using me, which I love the Arctic 7, which is what I'm using. But that was a little weird. Chaos Zone, again, is very good defensively. This is a very highly defensive thing, but I love it. This is just fun to use to trip people up. Space Time Rupture is, again, very fun because it can punch a lot of shields. And you can just do lots of damage. It's also very good for tracking people. This is one of my favorite contact things in the game. Basically, you press Y, you can switch people, and you get really good healing. With a 10-second cooldown, that is really good, especially if you're invisible. Order Break is just better wind cannon, and I love it. And Sword Dance is one of my favorite. It can grab up a ton of enemies, put them all in one place, and the best thing is, you can just kind of get out of it very quickly. So, yeah, also like you said, it requires a lot of things. How'd you get it again? I forgot how to do it. Yeah, Plasma and Spirit. It's just a really fun ultimate thing. I'm putting this up into an A tier. Next up, we have Illusion. That's probably also going up in A tier. It doesn't do very much damage, but what it can do is, this is stupid good. Versus the controls, that is good. The tricking your enemies with trigonometry is good. Although they could probably tell which one's the real one because they use spells. But if you don't use spells, it's really hard to figure out which one is you. Refraction's just good. Blinding your opponents, that's just fun. And applying a short stun. And temporary darkening everything around them, that's really good. Elusive Attack's really good for trapping people. And this is one of my favorite ultimates in the game just because what it does. It darkens the world, and it has that really cool 4D shape that trips you up and does throws cards around. Yeah, there's no way this is not going in A tier for me. It's just too good. And we're getting close to the last ones. Acid, or as I call it, Toxic. Not because it's toxic as an ability, but it's like, it's just fun. This could be good for poisoning people. This is really fun to use to grab people with and carry them around. Surplus is really good for getting people out of safe zones if they're a safe zoner, but a lot of people just abuse this to either save people up behind just doing that poison thing, or they like to push AFK people out to get kills, which I do not condone the use of. If you're going to be something like that, you might as well change your name into I'm Toxic, because that's just not cool to do that to AFK people. Or people could people could be switching out their spells, and that's just kind of mean. Corrosive Steam is really good for catching some people off guard, especially in the middle of fights. And it's probably one of the worst ultimates in the game. I'm just sorry, it's just not that good. I mean, it's also really good for shielding, but yeah, I'm putting this in B tier. Sorry if I wasn't talking. I was just lost my own mind again. Angel. Where do I start with Angel? This is stupidly good. Well, okay, this ability is pretty good, but you have to be kind of how to use it. Again, many people just shoot at you. This is good. This is good. This is good. And this is good. Like, it's just overall a really strong ability. Yeah, extremely high. I'm not kidding. We have our second S tier, everybody. Just like that. I don't want to explain Angel. If you play the game, you know why. Slime. It's a good for holding people in place, and splaying slime is probably one of the strongest moves. But honestly, slime is also absorbing slime is also really good. I'm putting slime in an A tier. 23 more bellies. I missed a few, didn't I? Well, I'll talk about technology. Technology. This is kind of useless. This is stupid. This is stupid. Those two abilities are low. I'm going to put it into an A tier. Nightmare and Dragon. I'm going to put Nightmare in a B, and I'm going to put Dragon in a C. Not just because of symmetry. Well, somewhat symmetry. If one of these was. but mainly because these two nightmares are a lot more useful thanks to its other abilities. But thanks to its other abilities. But overall, but Drag is a lot less useful. I mean, his ultimate's cool. So here's my tier list for. Sorry, I just accidentally muted my mic when I hit it. I accidentally hit it. Here's my tier list. You can disagree with it. You can argue in the comments if you think that one ability should be higher than the other. Yeah. Again, the arranging of them does not matter. Like, I'm not saying fire is better than all of this. I'm gonna have to turn down the thing because that scares me every single time. I'm not saying the fire is better than all of this. I'm just saying these are all in the same tier for me. And yeah. So, thank you all for watching. I hope you all had a great time watching me just think. And again, let me know if you think this tier list is accurate. Some of you are probably going to be screaming at your computer saying no, but yeah. Anyway, I'll sign off until next time, Legionnaires. See ya.